out to that 100%. So it comes in different ways. But essentially, it is not our money.
Right,
Yeah.
right, it's a liability, I understand, it's a liability against it, and again,
Yeah.
nothing in the current amendment stops a business from asking for the refund. So if they want their money back, they get their money back, nothing does that. The question is just the mandate of the state to issue the refund, whether we can push that out and maybe deal with some cash flow type of.
The refunds this year, in excess of what, 125 million?
What are we at right now? Hold on. We are at, where's my refund table? So this year for the business taxes, we are at 153 million, and that doesn't include the first week of May, which has
Right.
more.
153 million in refunds. What's the if we stayed on course, what's the projection in the next year? Just give me a ballpark idea.
So that's a little bit tough to say because we're just starting to see the tax year 23 returns. So what we do know is about 100 million out there, but they're not allowed to keep that additional 5 above the 5 times their liability. But what we will notice is people who, taxpayers that do make estimated payments but ultimately have no liability, they are automatically being refunded. And that's kind of hard to predict who's going to have no liability next year that will have automatic full refunds.
And the most recent revenue projections that you've brought forward, or DRA has brought forward, indicate a 2.5% decrease in our revenues for the next fiscal year. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let's look at those things in totality and say, really not a bad idea to push this off a little bit because the hit's going to be pretty severe. That could be a plus $200 million hit based on what has already transpired and what's going to go forward. And let's put the logic together. I know Norm Major was very concerned about this for a long period of time. We talked about this over and over and over. But indeed, I don't think that we really understood the significance of it in terms of its amount. So with that, I think pushing it out is a good idea. I think pushing it out to 4 years makes a lot of sense to me.
Any other questions? Keep question.
Thank you. I just wonder if DRI could respond to the question Rep. Alamy raised, which is that 4 years might not be necessary because we would see everything happen within 2 years. And
I think the issue with us trying to figure that out is it's dependent upon so many other variables. It's really difficult to say exactly what the impact would be based on the fact that taxpayer behavior could change. And also what's not factored into any of the discussion is how the business taxes might actually fluctuate upward or downward. We have the projections from a couple of weeks ago. But to know how this refund mechanism might function, right now we will be refunding next year everything still at the 500% level if we're making mandatory refunds, but that doesn't stop a taxpayer from doing something different.
I guess my concern was just like HB2 always, the trailer bill always has a lot of stuff in it. After, if in 25 they look at, no, we're going to keep this, but in 27 when they look at it, they may go, our revenues are doing great. We can go back to and repeal it right in HB2 if the revenues are there. We're really talking about 2 bienniums, right? We're talking about the 25 budget and the 27 budget and the impact on those 2 things. And so the way I was looking at it was in suggesting 4 years, that again, knowing that we're not holding more than, past this legislature, they can always repeal it if the numbers change, if business changes and everything else. But I'd rather err on the side of caution rather than be overly conservative and then have to make another quick change, which gives no certainty to the taxpayer. So, anything else? Thank you, ladies. So we're getting close the public hearing on the amendment 1839 on House Bill 1529, up 25. And I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session. It's been moved by Senator Rosenwald, seconded by Senator D'Alessandro to go into executive session. The first order of business is a motion on the underlying bill of HB 1525. Do I hear a motion? So OTP's been moved by Senator Rosenwald, seconded by Senator D'Alessandro, and I will move amendment 1839S, which is a wipe and replace all. Do I have a second to moving it? It's been seconded by Senator D'Alessandro. Any further discussion on amendment 1839? Hearing none. All those in favor of amendment 1839 signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, 5-0. Is there a motion for consent? It's been moved by Senator Innes, seconded by Senator Rosenwald to place us on consent. All those in favor of consent signify by saying aye.
Can I just say that I think the rest of the body is really happy that bills like this go on consent, right? Because what if we had to talk about it?
Right. I always make the joke that I'm the chair of Ways and Means Committee, I have to talk about taxes, and most people just don't want to hear it. Right. Right. So I'm sure the body appreciates the fact it's on consent for that reason. So we're all set? I'll take it out. Yep, it's on consent. That's an easy one. We're all set with the votes, right? We have voted the amendment. We voted on the bill. Overall, 5-0, 5-0. We move by Senator Innes, come out of exec, seconded by second D'Alessandro. All those in favor of coming out of exec, signify by saying aye. We are out of executive session and we are adjourned.
Until when?
We're done. We're done. We have no more bills.